Welcome back, Nick Lenz. This comic corner classic slash non-classic. This is episode number 1067 and double summon 961. Like I said in my previous video for One Piece, I'm reviewing a Dark Horse trade and a DC trade. First one is a library trade. This is Black Hammer, Black Hammer Volume 3, The Age of Doom Part 1. This book collects the first 5 issues of this 13-issue maxi series. Yep. Now, I initially thought the Black Hammer was going to be a regular ongoing series published by Dark Horse, which had a bunch of spin-offs, like the Sherlock, Frankenstein, and Legion of Evil, which I have reviewed that. Check out my my previous videos. There was one I have not reviewed yet, and that's Dr. Star. Yeah, I have not got the library's not getting hands on that one yet, so I'm not really sure of when they're getting hands on it. Yeah, so the previous Black Hammer series ended after just 13 issues. Yep, relaunched as these Age of Doom series. Now there are some shocking revelations about this particular thing. Okay. First of which, they explain how Lucy Weber got to this particular place where this farm is. Apparently, this whole thing is kind of like the Matrix, where it's all in their heads. Yep, it's all a big dream. Yep, a big dream. Yeah, some of the stuff happened in the previous thing, the previous set of issues for the series. Like the sheriff of the town disappearing and then all of a sudden coming back perfectly fine. No explanation of how the heck came back, and then he's okay for his ex-wife to be seeing Abraham Slim. Yeah, this guy, one of the main characters of the series. He has no problem with his ex-wife being in a relationship with this guy. Nope, does not. And the character Barbarian, the warlord of Mars, he starts a relationship with the Catholic priest. Yep. Apparently, changed it where he's actually gay. He's actually decides to make out with them, and now their couple is like, everyone's like, why the heck everybody's changing their ways? And it turns out this whole thing was manipulated by Madame Dragonfly and Colonel Weird. Yes. They're apparently on Colonel Weird's spaceship in the Pandora Zone. Yes, it was something that he's basically never going back and forth in. He's kind of like, in a way, similar to that of the Atom from DC Comics, where he basically can go to Microverse whenever he wants to. That's the only character I can think of now. In the case of now Black Hammer, they do explain that apparently the reason why his hammer is basically where it was when they found it. It turns out he hit the edge of the thing, and that's how he apparently died. So that's sort of explanation for that. And they all wake up on Colonel Weird's spaceship, and he's basically like, the reason why they've been there for 10 years is because it's taken them that long to get out of the place, and apparently, if they try to leave, they'll have the return of the anti-god, which they actually fought against when they all disappeared 10 years prior to the events of the series. I'm like, okay, good explanation. Look, Lemire's one writing this, not some other writer. Yep, Lemire does all the writing in here. The artwork is still the same artist, Dean Emerson. The cover art is done by Dean Emerson and Dave Stewart. The chapter breaks in here. The cover art for this, the cover is basically this one here. The chapter breaks in here is done by Dean Emerson, Scotty Young, Jeff Lemire. Yeah, he actually is an artist and writer, though he's a damn good artist as well. Though his artwork is not very well known to people, but he is an artist. Michael Chow, James Herron, Fabula Moon, and Dave Stewart, who is the colorist. Yes, the colorist. I gotta say, for the start of Age of Doom, it's really good. I'm looking forward to the next find comes out, which is going to wrap this up. Give this book a 9.5 out of 10. Yes. Aside from Dr. Star, there is like 2 other miniseries associated with Black Hammer. One, of course, is Black Hammer / Justice League. That's one of them. The other is... what's the other one? Oh, yes. Black Hammer 44. I think it's 45. Yeah, Black Hammer 45, which is kind of telling the early years of Abraham Slim during World War II, like just after World War II ended. Yeah, that's pretty much his backstory for that one. But yeah, it's something though that once, like, aside from this series, there is like 3 other miniseries aside from this one, and that's all really there is for Black Hammer. Basically, like 2 regular miniseries associated with the main series, plus a crossover with Justice League. And believe it or not, Lemire does write that because makes sense. Yeah, but I think one of the artists is from DC. Yeah. But this overall is a great book. Next up is a book that started just this year, written by the guy who just joined DC Comics last year, and this is Young Justice, written by Brian Michael Bendis. This is the first trade that collects his run, and you probably know about the cover, the logo on the thing, Wonder Comics. Yeah, this is sort of an imprint, in a way, focused on the young next generation of heroes. This is the flagship title of it, along with Naomi, which is another title Bendis does, along with the Wonder Twins. Dial H is one of them. Now, Bendis only does two of these titles, just this one and Naomi, which they actually ended the Naomi title after 6 issues, but relaunched as a season 2. Wonder Twins was initially going to be a 6-issue miniseries, but was later expanded to 12 issues. Dial H is still ongoing right now, but this one is the one they're going to keep going forward. Now, this is a reunion of the original Young Justice team. My only guess is the reason why they brought this series back, and this is my personal theory, because they brought back the Young Justice TV show on DC streaming service. They figured, though, why not bring back the original Young Justice team? And they probably figured, though, okay, with Damian the main team, you gotta do something with a lot of these characters. Now, of these characters, Impulse had just come back thanks to the, what was the button? No, it was Flash War that brought him back, yes. Thank you, Josh Williams, for bringing him back. Teen Lantern, brand new character. She actually was believe her or not, I think that the basis of this character was basically based upon a line from the opening, the first issue of Teen Titans Volume 3 by Jeff Johns, but yet this character is a creation of Brian Michael Bendis. The woman with the guns, that's Jenny Hex. She made her debut in his solo series. Yes, Connor Kent, my friend Tivia's favorite character, aside from Superman. Yeah, the clone of Superman and Lex Luthor. They'll mention Lex Luthor being his other genetic template in here. We have Cassie Sandmark. When this series first started, this was her first appearance since that Newtown Showcase published in 2016. So, this was her first appearance in 3 years. As for what the heck she's been up to, never revealed. And apparently she's gone back to her 90s costume for some reason. I have no idea why. Superboy is also back to his 90s costume as well, because Bendis probably liked that version. Now, here's the thing. Prior to Flashpoint, Bart Allen stopped being Impulse, became Kid Flash 2003, and was Kid Flash up into the relaunch, and then you think you saw him in the Scott Lobdell Teen Titans run, but it was later revealed at the end of the run, nope, it was not him at all. It was another guy named Bart Tor, which they brought that guy back in the Flash/Speed Buggy one-shot. Yep. You're probably thinking, who is the teenage girl in purple? That is Amethyst. Yes. A character made for his appearance back in the 80s. Yes. Yeah, after her initial 2 volumes she appeared sporadically over the years, and she later returned thanks to the Sorcery comic. Fantastic comic, you gotta check it out. Yeah, she appeared there. She also appeared a little bit in Justice League Dark. After she ended her appearance there and Sorcery, she disappeared for a long time until she showed up here, and now she's part of the Young Justice team. I gotta say, for a lineup for Young Justice, this is actually a pretty good looking lineup. Now, of these characters, I believe Jenny Hex is a creation of I think it's Ron Marson. Yeah, the guy who was the first writer of the Superboy comic from the 1990s, the one who, during the last couple years, became a love letter to Jack Kirby because it featured Doubleshot as a supporting character for the book. He appeared for a good chunk of the series. Yep. Now, who created some of these characters? I mean, you gotta have Tim Drake there too, obviously. He's the leader of the team. He was also the leader of the team in the first volume, my Peter David. So at least there you have 4 characters who are consistent from the first volume of Young Justice. Impulse, Rob, and this is Tim Drake, Superboy, and Wonder Girl. Those 4 are necessary. Jenny Hex, I think she did appear in the first volume Peter David. I don't remember. It's been a while since I've read it. Teen Lantern. No, they also refer to her as Teen Green Lantern because she used the Green Lantern power. Amethyst, this is technically the second team she's ever been part of, because prior to her brief involvement with Justice League Dark, she'd never joined a superhero team before, which I gotta give props for Bendis for doing that. And the fact that Bendis, well, not only brought back Connor, yes, a guy who Impulse not seen in years, but apparently grew a beard, and apparently he started a family. Yes, he has a wife and child. Which I'm like, okay, interesting. Also, Bendis kind of fixed the stupid thing Lobdell basically did, where it revealed that he was only Red Robin for years. Now he's back in his Robin costume for some reason. Yeah, I'm looking at the costume, I'm like, hey, that's his first regular costume he did when he first became Robin on a regular basis back in the late 80s. I was a little surprised they decided to basically put him in that costume. Yeah, Amethyst, the way she's written here, it's like she's part of the House of Amethyst, but for some reason, the other houses don't like her at all because they think she's a nuisance. I'm like, she brings up good points, and they bring in her main villain from the series, the head of the House of Opal, who's the enemy of Gemworld. And apparently, the council is apparently a bunch of big buffoons who are completely oblivious to House of Opal's basically his attacks and whatever he does. It's like they don't freaking care. That's the way Bendis rates these people. Yep. Though, if you wonder like how long it's been since Amethyst appeared in the comic book, I mean, this only came out just this year. I'm trying to think off the top of my head, I think like the last time she appeared was, if I remember correctly, I think it was back in 2014 was the last time she showed up. This is first appearance in 5 years. Connor, as is the actual Connor Kent, not the same one who appeared in Scott Bell's Teen Times, he's gone. I don't know if it's going to be able with this one. Yeah, this is technically his first appearance since 2011. So it's been 8 years since he last showed up. Tim Drake, however, when this book first started, it had been like a year since his last appearance. His last appearance was, believe it or not, in the final issue of Jane Tina's run for Detective Comics. And they've explained how he got back in costume despite the fact he's supposed to be retired. Yep. Apparently, Santana decided to show up and try to explore something that was set up back in the, I think it was in the Brother Eye story, I think it was set up in Lonely Place of Dying, which had the return of the Tim Drake from the Titans of Tomorrow storyline by Jeff Johns. Yep. The Young Justices are basically kind of sprung together because of stuff related to Amethyst, and like, then they had to basically, like, after they defeat Opal, they apparently are supposedly sent back home, but then the guy woman is like, and now Amethyst is banned from Gemworld forever, and everyone's like, what? When the heck would make that decision? Yeah, I would not be surprised if Young Justice goes back to this world, and here's what I'm hoping happens. I hope this woman gets punched in the face by Wonder Girl because of how much a despicable woman she is. Like, oh yeah, they said Amethyst is not the Speaker of the House. Like, really? Then who the heck is, you stupid woman? Yep. Now, who are the artists on here? As you can tell by the cover, this is Patrick Gleason's artwork. Yep, Patrick freaking Gleason. Love this guy's artwork. I never got a chance to meet this guy, but as far as I know, Tomasi loves working with Gleason. Yeah, he worked with frequently on his Batman and Robin series, both the first and second volume when he wrote the issues. He worked with him on Superman. He even wrote his own brief run. He even wrote and drew his own brief time. He did the Robinson and Batman series, which is really good. I still haven't read the second trade yet. Now, he's not the only artist on. We also have John Temps, Chris Arquilla, Evan Doc Steiner, Ray McCarthy, Jonathan Galapon, Emilia Lacino, and I think that's it. Yeah, the cover art here, yes, I'm a Patrick Gleason. Alejandro Sanchez, yes, who was the colorist in here. And yes, they even brought in Hi-Fi. Yes, the guy who was also one of the colorists from the Teen Titans run by Scott Lobdell. He's a damn good colorist, by the way. Never met him. This by far is really good. As far as I can tell, my friend Tippy has never done. I don't think he's done a review of this series. I don't know if he has, because I know he reviews The Flash, Action Comics, Superman, and I don't remember what other books he actually reviews. So that was very few. But Tippy, add this series to your review list because this is a damn good series. I know how much you enjoy this stuff. But this, of course, is really good. This book, a 9.5 out of 10. It's really good. I know my friend Edgar is not a big fan of nostalgia stuff, what DC's trying to do, but this is kind of like that, but Bendis is basically writing it, so he's doing his own take on these characters, which I think is great. Now, here's kind of the strange thing. Now, they did have it recently where Tim met up with Robin in the pages of Batman, and they both are Robin, but he's not Red Robin anymore. No, he's just back being Robin, and apparently also changed his codename for some reason. I have no idea why. Okay, yeah, but that's it for this particular review. Stay tuned for my next review of the newest episode of Boruto, okay? Until next review. Bye.